Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Terrifying Newly Released Psychic Financial Predictions for 2023. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word. Now, let's get started. We're going to tell you some psychic predictions that will be more disturbing and terrifying than most people can handle. Remember, we don't give financial advice, so don't use this information to decide what to do with your savings or other major life decisions. For that, you should consult with your financial advisors or your attorneys or your realtors. For all the obvious reasons, we're going to say that these financial predictions are being presented for entertainment purposes only, and then you can decide what you think of them. All right, let's get started. Some psychics are making all sorts of predictions for this year. Today, we're going to reveal some psychic financial predictions that other psychics are too scared to even discuss or disclose. The first psychic prediction is the fall of America. A growing percentage of psychics now feel that America is being dismantled and destroyed from within. They say that if you want to see what America looks like tomorrow, then just look at California and New York State today. New York City, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, and even Chicago are so overrun with criminals that even the police appear to have stopped risking their lives because their mayors have tied their hands behind their backs and stopped supporting them, stopped backing them. Police corruption used to be the big concern across the nation. Now it's the police themselves who are being prevented from doing their jobs by their superiors and city mayors and administrators and managers. And this has caused even more problems for people and businesses. Now, we support the police 110%, but in many places, they're having their hands tied behind their backs by the city officials. And that's obvious to everybody who watches the news. So in the next year, this problem is believed by many psychics to only get worse. Next, we have Wall Street and the financial sector. They keep lying to us about the strength of the companies on the exchanges, their debt, and the state of the economy. One of the largest and most substantial problems now is that the pensions that so many people rely on are operating in a state of undisclosed or undeclared insolvency. Many of these pensions have been underfunded or even unfunded for years, for decades, and now the money is almost gone. When people realize that the pension payments are going to, at some point, be dramatically reduced or completely disappeared, then we will see tremendous protests in the streets. A lot of people are now only surviving on their tiny pension checks each month. When that disappears, then they'll have to move in with family, and most families are already struggling to make it. So when they have their parents move in with them, then that will make it, or their children move in with the parents, then that will make it just worse and more challenging for everybody involved. When the pensions start publicly collapsing, then America will become overrun with protests and starving people. Next, we have the growing real estate issue. Once again, they've raised interest rates. In 2022, the Fed raised interest rates 7 times, and they plan to continue doing so. That means that buying a home will become less and less affordable for many people. And for some, it'll become impossible. Real estate comprises 17% of the economy. And when you collapse the real estate sector, then the repercussions throughout the rest of the nation will be seismic. What about crime? Well, the cartels are now moving from the border and expanding their criminal enterprises deep into the U.S. And they're aggressively growing their human trafficking efforts, which are now making more money than their drug sales. Why is that a big deal? Well, it's a very big deal because people are now being snatched and put into their human trafficking machines in different and more aggressive ways. They used to steal Mexican women off the Mexican streets and then traffic them everywhere, including in the U.S. But now they're snatching women and children off the streets of America and trafficking them. That's why young women and children are disappearing from shopping malls. They're disappearing from outdoor public gatherings and events and concerts and picnics. They're being lured to public house parties and drugged and disappeared and then trafficked. They're being disappeared in Mexico when they go there on vacation. We predict that human trafficking and sex slavery will begin to grow faster than the electric vehicle industry in the US and elsewhere. What does that mean for you as an investor or a business person? It means that a lot of companies you thought you were competing with very aggressively, those companies are now going to be getting vast infusions of cash from the cartel. They're now making so much money trafficking that they'll need legitimate appearing companies to invest in. And that means they'll be buying some of your competing companies and pumping so much money into them that they will eventually put you and your company out of business. There's no way a normal company in the US can compete with another company that has access to unlimited investment cartel funds. So whether you know it or not, a lot of the companies you shop with or do business with now and in the future will actually be cartel front companies. Have you ever walked through a mall and seen all these stores, these big expensive looking stores that never ever have any customers in them? Have you seen those? I'll give you an example. Have you seen those sunglass stores that have $300, $400, $500 sunglasses on display? And guess what they don't have on display? Customers. How many people do you think woke up this morning and wanted to or were able to purchase $500 sunglasses? The next question is, how dramatically do psychics think that the stock market will collapse? Well, up until now, we've been hearing some psychics say that the stock market will collapse by at least 2/3. But now we believe it will be dramatically more than that. Many psychics now secretly believe that the collapse of stocks, bonds, pensions, real estate, and the crypto space will all converge in a ferocious and a furious implosion that will cause banks themselves, some banks, to seize up and be unable to function. Why? Because they just won't have the cash. And when that happens, they will declare a bank bail-in, not a bailout, but a bail-in, and start seizing customers' accounts. When that happens, then we believe public outrage and protests will spill into the streets, but it'll be different this time because those banks will also be seizing the money of police, firemen, reporters, and politicians. And when that happens, it'll be very incendiary and cause even more problems. How many police do you think will come to the aid of banks that are overrun by protesters and criminals furious at the banks stealing their money? Would you, if you were a cop, help banks that stole money from other people or perhaps even from your savings accounts? We suspect that one of the largest foreign enemies of the United States will begin to move their troops onto U.S. streets at some point in what they claim will be an effort to calm the public down. But in reality, it'll just be a cleverly disguised and highly planned invasion designed to look like an effort to help us. They're not going to help us at all. Some of the other psychic predictions we've heard are even more terrifying than these, so be careful. Once again, these predictions are only being made for entertainment purposes, and you should not be making major financial decisions or legal decisions based on them. But you should use your own best judgment going forward and ask yourself this: are you prepared for a worst case scenario like some of the things described above? If not, then you may want to reconsider your entire financial strategy. Be careful out there. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on your social media to help get the word out. Thank you, and we shall talk to you soon. Bye-bye.